This Diddy case has been wild. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go and Google it, okay? The whole world is watching this Diddy trial. I have a very analytical, curious mind, and it may not be a good thing, I don't know, but these cases fascinate me with these powerful men who are like the golden child on one side, and then a total menace to society, especially to women, on the next side. The Diddys, the Weinsteins, the R. Kellys, the Epsteins, the Cosbys, the psyche of these men need to be studied. But anyway, that's a video for another day. This series is about the life lessons that I'm learning as a woman, as a mother, as a wife from this case. It has so many nuances, so many little peculiarities, so many areas where we need to shine a light. One of the first subjects that really caught my attention, that I was really focusing on during Cassie's testimony, was the whole idea of consent and how that works. In the last few years, consent has been a very hot topic. Since the Me Too era, it's been blurry. It's a very dividing topic, especially for men, because men are seen as the go-getters, the pursuers. We want the men to come after us, right? But now it's like, if you even look at a woman too hard in the office, she could go to HR and said you make her uncomfortable, and you could get in trouble. And this is something that I feel like we need to talk about more, because both sides actually have a point. Consent can be a real slippery slope if you don't know how to navigate it. And why it's slippery is because for men, they now don't know where the line is drawn anymore. And some just don't care at all. So it's almost as if you don't pursue, you're seen as a punk. But if you pursue, you're seen as a predator. We have to figure out where we draw the line. For women, it's annoying because you have lots of women who love spontaneity, who love when a man takes charge, and that's what society tells a man, right? He should be the pursuer, he should take charge, he should be a go-getter, not taking no for an answer. That is now up for discussion as well. For generations, men have been socialized to equate dominance with desire, being strong, being rugged, being the aggressor. It's seen as sexy. Men were taught to make the first move. Pop culture has long glorified the whole idea that if you try hard enough and not take no for an answer, you'll get what you want. But when it comes to romance, if that aggression is unwanted, it can have a totally different effect. We also need to address the fact that women were socialized to say yes, or to consent, to comply, most times because of fear. We've seen countless stories of women who were attacked because they didn't give a man their number, or they didn't give a man the attention he wanted. Right here in the Bahamas, you could have a lady passing and a man, oh, hey, sexy, what you saying, what you saying? And if she doesn't respond in the way he wants her to, well, carry your ugly self anyway, I don't want you know how. As simple as that. But that's very mild. A lot of women don't get to walk away from situations like that. We saw the story the other day, a woman who got a brick upside her head because she rejected a man. There's a whole story on the internet about this girl who was abducted and pretty much kept for months and months, tortured and finally killed just because she rejected one of the boys. And these were teenagers. There are so many stories where women are literally attacked just for not responding to a man's advances. So many times we are taught to comply, just be nice. Don't turn him down flatly. Give him a fake number. Give him a fake name. We were socialized to try to survive these circumstances. So now with that being said, is yes really yes? That's a question that most men do not consider. Just because she agreed does not mean she actually wanted to. She can be saying yes out of fear. Fear of losing her life, fear of being attacked, fear of losing her livelihood, fear of getting a backside beat, i.e. Diddy. And that is what's so nuanced about the situation. How can men navigate this issue? How do we protect ourselves? As a man, the first thing you can do is ask and affirm. Ask outrightly. It may not be sexy, it may not be spontaneous, but you have to protect yourself and the individual that you're engaging with. Ask, is this okay? And when you ask, it's an ongoing thing, because it can be yes at first, And then somewhere along the line, they may change their mind and realize they don't like what's happening. But because they're already in the thick of it, they may be afraid to say no. But let them know, hey, if you change your mind, we can stop anytime. It doesn't matter what activity, whether it's bedroom activities, whether you're out doing whatever you're doing, continue to keep the conversation going. You can read the cues, but don't just rely on body language. But definitely you can tell when someone is interested and when someone's not interested, okay? Body cues matter, but they're not the end all be all. You still have to ask questions. If it seems like there's some confusion, if they seem hesitant, stop and ask, hey, are you okay? Should we keep going? Consider your conditioning. What have you been taught as a man? Have you been taught to continue to ask a lady if she's interested? And if she says no, you don't take no for an answer. You continue to pressure her and say, hey man, you can leave me with these blue balls? You can leave me hanging like that? That's crossing the line over into coercion. And that's another video that I'm gonna make. The difference between coercion and consent. The blurred line right there. But once you start pushing after the person says no, you're crossing the line of not accepting their no, and you're moving towards coercion. So even if they say yes now, it's not really consent. The next thing you can do as men is normalize rejection. If a woman says no, she's not interested, let that be it. Go move on to someone who's actually interested. That's it. But stop trying to punish a woman just because she said no. It's her choice. The last tip I would give is to be accountable. If you messed up, just own it. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you was into it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push, and gracefully let it be and walk away. Now, here is the kicker. This should be ongoing even after you're in a relationship with someone. Yes. As a matter of fact, I would even venture that it's even more important within relationships. Because everyone keeps saying, Cassie, she wanted it. She's sending him free text messages. She's asking for the freak offs. She was down, right? Now she's here on the stand saying that she actually didn't want to do it. Whether she's lying or not, that is not my judgment to make. But the whole point is, this is very, very plausible. What is it that we keep preaching to women? If you don't do it, exactly. If you don't do it, someone else will. We pound that into women's heads. So I am willing to bet at least 10 women right now who watch this video have done things in the bedroom for their man that they did not want to do, or still doing things in the bedroom for their man that they do not want to do. But because of fear that he would leave her, fear that he would cheat on her, fear that whatever she's fearful of, she continues to do it, or she pretends that she likes it or goes along with it because she doesn't want the consequences that come after. Okay? And even in situations where your partner seems like they were into it at first, but they changed their mind because they didn't like it, or it's not feeling good, it's making them uncomfortable, that's where the constant checking in comes from. She may not feel safe enough to speak up, which is a problem in itself, because your relationship should be a safe space for both of you to be able to speak up when something's not right. But she may not want to say, or your partner may not want to say, hey, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Y'all already deep in the thick of it. Things are hot and heavy, and now all of a sudden they want to stop. It may not seem fair, but it is fair for that person, because if you continue on, damage can be caused. It can be physical damage, definitely emotional damage, mental damage. So yes, once your partner is showing signs they're uncomfortable, if they say stop, if they say no, now this is outside of the whole BDSM situation where you need a safe word and all that. But once they seem uncomfortable, body language speaks very loudly. I'm going to do that in another video, breaking down body language, because there are people in society who just do not get social cues, all right? And then imagine in the thick of a hot and heavy session, you definitely probably not seeing stuff. So we gotta have to break down what it looks like when your partner has probably changed their mind, all right? And again, just respect your partner's no. And it's almost like women especially don't have the right to say no. If we say no, the first thing that comes out of people's mouth, especially men, is a threat to cheat on her. In my comments alone, there are men in the comments, the first thing out of their mouth is, that's why they can cheat. That's it. Are y'all in happy, healthy relationships? Do y'all really love your partner? Because at the first sign of your partner saying no, or they're not in the mood, or they don't want to do that, they don't want to try that, your first response is you're gonna cheat. And then when she does it and something happens, something goes wrong, and God forbid, y'all have to answer to the law, and she says, well, I really didn't want to do it, but then she said yes because you said that you were going to cheat on her. Do you get the psyche of that? Are you like getting the picture of what I'm trying to paint right now? This is why it's so important, even within relationships. My thing is, especially within relationships, things can get really slippery, and that lack of respect for your partner, that lack of love, that lack of concern is a real problem in this nation. As a matter of fact, around the world, it's like a woman doesn't have the right to say no. And then she says yes, gets damaged, then complains afterwards, and you want to say, well, you say yes. This is why getting proper consent, real consent, matters. And here is the barometer. If it's not an enthusiastic and informed yes, slow your roll. Slow your roll. If it's your partner and she says no, he says no, let it be. Maybe your partner needs more information to make a better decision. If they seem open to it, have more conversations. If it's a hard no, I think you should just let it be a hard no. If it's not an enthusiastic yes and an informed yes, where you've given all of the information and it's enthusiastic, just slow down, take your time, figure it out. Let's lean into the topic of consent. Let's respect our partners enough to allow them to choose, especially women. We are so pressured. The same way that men are pressured for finances and to be a provider, we are pressured a lot when it comes to bedroom stuff. The minute we say no, we have a headache, we tired, or I don't want to try that, it's like, oh, really? Okay. And y'all want to know why women are saying yes and they don't want something. This is why. One of the best and easiest ways that I explain consent to straight men, imagine a gay man hitting on you. You're not gay and you're not curious. The same way you want your no to be a resounding no, I'm not interested, that same respect that you want, that should be the same respect you give to a woman when she says no. Let's say your woman wants to try some butt stuff and you ain't on that run. You don't want it to be, well, baby, well, babes, you know. No, you want it to be a no. Leave it alone. I ain't doing that. That same respect should be given to her as well when she doesn't want to do something. Listen, it may seem shallow, but intimacy is a big part of a relationship. And if you and your partner are just not gelling in that area and you feel like you cannot continue in this relationship because she don't like to give head, or he don't want me to tie him up, or whatever it is that you're into, the type of intimacy that you like, if you're not going to get that, you should strongly consider moving on and finding someone who's into what you're into. So let's teach our sons. I have three boys. Okay, my oldest is 17 and I've been having this conversation about consent, and he's actually gotten in trouble once or twice. He thought that because they were just chilling, laughing, everything was cool. My hand slipped a little bit and the female in the moment didn't say anything. She didn't say anything, but she was uncomfortable and she told one of her friends, and her friend said, we need to go tell an adult. Now, mind you, it was no situation where he raped her or anything like that. But for her, he put his hand somewhere inappropriate and it was a problem. And again, in the moment, she didn't say anything. So he felt like it was all good. Perfect example there. Whenever it comes to bedroom stuff, intimate stuff, It doesn't matter how cool the situation feels. It doesn't matter how the drinks could be flowing, the conversation, the flirting, the seductive talks, all of that could be happening. But if you don't get a clear yes, and listen, it may seem like a turn off, but do it anyway. A simple, hey, you okay with this? Should I keep going? And get that yes. Okay? Get that yes. Ladies, you may feel like it's not spontaneous enough and it's not sexy. Let that man protect you and let that man protect himself. Get a yes. And even as the activities continue, check in. Is this good? Are you okay? You want me to keep going? And let your partner know. If at any point you want to stop, let me know. Create that safe space with your partner where they can feel safe enough to say no without feeling threatened that something's gonna happen to them, that you're gonna leave them, that you're gonna cheat on them. Create a safe space. So yeah, consent isn't just like a checkbox. It's really a reflection of respect. That's really what it is. And the gray areas could really be uncomfortable to explore, but we have to. We have to keep having this conversation because it's not only about respect, it's also about safety. But having these uncomfortable conversations, going through the discomfort to actually get to the resolution is a sign of maturity. These conversations may be messy, but they are the key to building safer, healthier, and more fulfilling relationships for everyone involved. Let's keep talking, let's keep learning, and I'll see you in the next one.